Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah. Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah. In alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam Allah, wa rasulallah. Welcome to another session of Living the Sunnah. And this is a new series in which myself and Dr. Ibrahim Jamali will take some of the problems that you share with us, and we will teach you how to handle and deal with them in accordance to the Quran and the authentic Sunnah. And today, we're going to continue from our discussion last week. Last week, we discussed how many Muslims are addicted to social media chat. Diseases of the heart, such as loneliness and rejection of Allah's decree, play a great role in this. These suffering Muslims become sucked into a world of fitna from which they cannot pull themselves out of. Today, myself and Dr. Ibrahim Dormali will discuss how to combat the causes of this addiction. And we will begin today by speaking about the addiction the disease of the heart known as loneliness. And particularly since COVID, many of us find it very hard to get out and socialize with other Muslims. So chatting on the internet seems to be the best go-to for this. Dr. Ibrahim Jamali, what suggestions, if any, can you offer Muslims in regards to chatting on the internet in a careful, safe manner?
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا من سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. In fact, my dear brother and sister, as Sister Layla said, it's very, very important topic. In fact, in every day we have problem. And when we give advice, unfortunately, some parents cannot control their own baby kids. And that is, by the way, is not good sign for the future, for the family and for the child themselves, and the child as well. In fact, brothers and sisters, and Sister Layla, we're going to give advice. But the most important thing for Sunnah followers here, to apply what we hear about the advice, and we advise each other. We're advising each other. In fact, another problem here, brothers and sisters. Sister Layla, did another people speak?
No, go ahead. No, I muted them.
Yeah. The problem also, brothers and sisters, please give me attention to that. Actually, recently here, how I'm involved with a family, the mom and the dad and the kids all on the phone, busy. And then they're calling me to solve a problem. And when I ask a question, everybody have a cell phone. So yes, even my son, 7 years, have a cell phone. And I'm very clear, we cannot, 7 years, we cannot even control our kids. On the phone, you have many problems because of the cell phone. By the way, if you cannot control your son and your daughter inside the house, regardless about the age, and you cannot control your child holding the phone, I think the problem is not the child. With all my respect, brother and sister, you yourself, the parents. If you cannot control your son and your daughter holding the phone, that means we are in trouble. Today, actually, I have a phone call from Texas. I live in Florida. And the brother actually told me, my son, in the beginning, my son became so religious. always lectured and lectured and lectured on Quran and Quran and Quran. And he called me complete opposite. Movies and movies and movies and this and that group and that group and chat. Brother and sister. And how old? 16 years old. And brother, and he said, brother, I cannot, I'm afraid of my own son. What I have to say in this case is, by the way, there is many solutions. But the most important thing to listen to the advice and to apply the advice or share it and how to apply the advice. And I found out, by the way, not only in the United States of America, in the whole world, even Gaza Strip, refugees, and Syria, refugees, poor country, and the most country using the Facebook and social media, the most country, number one, Saudi Arabia. Number one, Saudi Arabia and Emirates, number two, and then Egypt. Egypt. Yes, I saw that when I went in the Middle East. I saw that myself, brother and sister. Everybody will afford. There is a solution for that, Sister Layla. Yes, we do. We have solution. But do you think the Sunnah followers, whoever attends Sunnah followers, will accept my advice and your advice, Sister Layla? You think? What do you think?
Well, they're so addicted. I really don't think that they will accept our advice. It's something that they're going to have to learn to stop, on their own.
Oh, that is the key. Thank you, Sister. Sister Layla, she very give attention. We had, before my son and my daughter, speaking about myself, male or female, me as a man, and a sister and a mom and a mother, me and the phone, and me and my cell phone, social media and Facebook and Twitter and you name it. If I as a father, I can control that, this problem is solved. Number one. I have a question, please give me attention here. Do you think the rich people, they have a cell phone? Believe it or not, I used to have, since last Wednesday, I make a lot of research regarding this for the system. The rich people, by the way, they're not even using the social media. Whoever create the cell phone themselves, they don't have that. Bill Gates, the one that he don't have even social media. Rich people, by the way, they are busy with their business because they know that there will be a problem with that. Another problem, another research actually, and I've have it actually in our community, especially brother and sister, please give me attention to that. This is a cell phone here. Everybody has a cell phone. Yeah. There's a cell phone here, brother and sisters. If the people, before they sleep, 2 hours, using the phone, they have a problem in their sleep, in their brain, their eyes, and not only that, step by step, have the anxiety, drugs, and you name it, and anger, and. Why put ourselves, we know that. Many research, we have to advise. So some people say, no, just leave it just to make me sleep. By the way, that cell phone, there is no way to sleep. Was add and post and this and lecture and talk. There's no way to sleep. No way. You think I sleep, but believe it or not, there's no way to sleep. Now, if I control myself, alhamdulillah. I control my wife, alhamdulillah. My son and my daughter, regardless the age. Some people, and that is very sad, some parents afraid from their own kids. That means if you are afraid of your son, or your daughter, that means the problem is you. Because there is no way a real father, a real mom, strong father and strong mom cannot control my own household. And the problem, oh brother, and so another place, give me attention here, something very important in our community actually. Because mom and dad, they are working. They try to get the kids busy with the cell phone. And believe it or not, barely even to have lunch together or dinner together or breakfast together. Everybody different word. The cell phone taking the kids and not the kids, everyone away from the real goal. Scientifically also, that brain too much. Especially the addiction need really a doctor, really psychiatrist, really somebody special about this to take yourself to cure yourself. I don't know if insurance covering that or not. At least, alhamdulillah, Sunnahfollowers would do that as much as we can. Sister Layla.
Yes, Dr. Jamali, you brought up a very good point here. Since most people are not going to take our suggestions, we can suggest for them to get help, to overcome this addiction or whatnot. And but since most people don't listen, then what do? We just sit here and just watch our fellow Muslim brothers and sisters falling victim to this medium and just pray for them. I mean, there's nothing we can do to try to, get them to overcome this. I mean, what do you suggest?
Sister
It's
Layla.
a big problem and it's growing more and more. I mean, what can we do?
People, and actually a lot, everybody, please, Brother Ibrahim, make dua for me and my kids. I make dua. But if your child addicted to the phone, dua is not going to work. Not even for yourself to make dua. Dua, let's give me attention. Sister Layla spoke about it, and I spoke many times about that. Dua. Number one is dua. Sincere dua. You have to apply what you are doing. Number one. Number two, you are able to change. But of course, also with the kids, you need as Ali ibn Abi Talib, Ali radiallahu anhu, he said, خاطب الناس على قدر عقولهم. Speak to the people according to their mentality. The majority of our kids now, my brothers and sisters, are having anxiety, and believe it or not, maybe you don't know your child. Many kids how make it drugs, heroin, and pills, and you need it. I know many people. And by the way, babies in elementary school, they taken that, not only high school and university. When I go outside our house here, I live in Boca Raton, Florida, especially after Fajr, when I came back from the masjid, everybody outside, adults smoking, but the smoking always the cigarettes. They smoke, but those people smoke and there is no smoke. And I asked, so all this is marijuana. Marijuana what? That is from medical marijuana. Yes, the medical, I don't know, but that means everybody has this kind of anxiety in our area. I'm talking about only my area. What about United States of America and the whole world is doing the same thing, brother and sister? Ask yourself, can I stop? If yes, the answer yes, I can stop everyone in the household. If not, fix yourself. Come to Sunnahfollowers, ask us later, ask people specialists about this matter, how to quit social media too much. By the way, I use social media sometimes, but not all day like some people. For example, WhatsApp, my family in Palestine, my family in Egypt, in Europe, and here and there. I always call my family, but not continuously. I'll also, so please give me attention. Many groups, everybody, a new group, a new WhatsApp, a new group. Watch. Any a new group, anyone, I don't know, not give me a notice in advance, delete yourself completely without even asking. Unless, for example, Sister Layla, we have a Sister Sunnahfollowers, we have a group again. But I don't know that Sister Layla, you have the group. Immediately I remove myself from it. Sister Sunnahfollowers, I'm part of it. But then Sister Layla told me, no, there's our group. She confirmed this your group, then I add myself immediately. Why? Because I know Sister Layla for years. I know Sunnahfollowers was also who were in charge with that. So my advice for that groups also, by the way, people lost their deen, their Islam, because of the WhatsApp groups. People, gays and lesbian, become from the WhatsApp groups. You have to watch that, brother and sisters. It's very big. Not only that, I'm talking about kids. Kids. That is a really disaster. To see my child, no, the male and female. The female, I'm a male. There's another problem, but household have to be a secret house, a castle, and you have to be guarded. And who's the guards? Mom and dad. Mom and dad is the guarding the house, supposed to be. But if there's a problem with your husband or wife and always be busy with the phones, don't ask about the kids anymore. Sister Layla.
Yes, Dr. Jamali, what suggestions do you have for a wife or a husband who realizes that their partner may be spending more time on social media chatting than with them? What suggestions would you offer that spouse as to how to combat this?
My sister and brothers. I mentioned sisters first and brothers because I see that more often, brother and sister. Any husband and wife, this phone always using. I'm talking about couple, husband and wife, they love each other so much. So much. But when the phone starts, both of them, and the groups, and Facebook, and Twitter, and you name it, and the husband and wife, they are depart step by step. There's no return because that group watching something become addicted, and she the same thing addicted, and that love dissolved. Plus, brother and sister, I know some men, after recently in our group, they love his wife so much and have 5 kids. Suddenly, a person not even see that woman until now, only in Facebook, and then in Twitter, and then just in Facebook. They love that woman, shade, not a real one. And he completely discard his wife, the loving wife, and 5 kids, the older one 2 years old. And this happened actually a lot, but this is recently. Yes, I was in a group. Brother Ibrahim, what you should do in this case? I said, brother, you have to stop this completely. The only solution, you have kids. Plus, that is disease. That disease, not only disease, no, your heart, disease, your heart. Disease of your heart, and that is disease. If you know that, you have to fix your heart before you lose your life. Literally, use your life. Sister.
Yes, alhamdulillah. The last time we met, we also discussed how many Muslims today have deviated away from the Sunnah way of doing things. And this too leads to many problems with social media, such as people using it as a means of trying to find a potential partner in life. What suggestions, if any, do you have that will help us to stop using social media in this way for trying to find a spouse? What suggestions do you have to try to prevent us from doing that?
Yeah, actually, last time we spoke about it. There is actually a young guy. He met a woman, a lady. She's young, just like him. He is American. He's American Muslim, and she is in Egypt. And she is in Egypt. But he saw her in Facebook. Then they in touch, they speak together, and this and he went to Egypt, and he met with the father and everything. They're preparing for marriage, and this is beautiful. But here, brother and sister, give me attention. Number one, the sister, please give me attention again. The lady, you have to have a guardian, wali, and that wali is a father or brother or uncle, a relative. And if you are new Muslim or there is no one, a new Muslim, so I trust imam in our area, in your area, or trust person. The guardian, your brother and sister, very important. Guardian, you have to, that lady, she's considered like your own daughter, your own sister, your own mother, supposed to be. Not only a paper, get married, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. This is not marriage. Mostly, I know many people got married online. The majority of the people I know, the majority, after 1 month, 2 months, 1 year maximum, they're divorced, and people in prison. But some people actually, when that lady, she have a group with her family support, and people and trust people, you are on the safe side. There is no other way. Do not lose your life, sister, especially sister here. Please, you are your sister. You are a queen. You are, especially sister with hijab. You are a treasure. You are a queen. Do not lose your heart because a person just to take advantage of sexual relationship, and after he finish, Assalamu alaikum, ma'assalam, bye-bye. And this happened. It's happened. It's very sad. Wallahi, it's very sad. Something like this, brother and sister. If there is no one in charge with that sister, with her, supporting her, you will easy to lose her life. Not even, and divorce, I know, by the way, 99% of the people get divorced with in the court also. Be careful, sister. Sister Layla.
Exactly. So basically, from what we can see, whenever we deviate away from doing things the way Allah and the Prophet ﷺ suggested, we end up opening the door to other problems. So it's something that we definitely have to be careful with. And so now I want to take some questions from the audience, but I do have one question here from a sister on Facebook. She says, you spoke about how important it is for the parent to control, to take the cell phone away from our children, to monitor our children and their usage of the cell phone. She said, but what suggestions do you have as to how to do that? She said, when she tries to take the cell phone away from her children, they become belligerent against her and even aggressive.
With all my respect, sister, the only solution here, especially because this is recently happened here, the aggressive child, he become more aggressive. Don't take the phone. Don't take it. It's simple, easy things. Disconnect the Wi-Fi. Is number one. Disconnect completely the Wi-Fi from the house. Only you are in charge. You are the one bought the phone. The aggressive, by the way, If become violence, sorry to say that. Violence, easy. 911 is the only solution. There's no other solution. If you didn't do that, by the way, oh no, police are in the prison, better than they're gonna kill you. Better than to beat you up or do anything else. And by the way, this kind of kids, they're gonna lose you sooner or later anyway when they grow up. So prepare yourself. If we're not controlling the phone right now, when you become 18 and up, when outside the house, you're gonna lose a lot of things in your life, sister. Brothers, also, you have to control it. At least disconnect the Wi-Fi. If we aggressive, there is no other solution. Don't be, if you hit a child, you'll be in prison. Easy. So, hello, my son's 1, 2, 3. You don't have to say in front of the child because he will kill you. He will do something bad. No, just be quiet. I'll go to the room, call the police. And that, of course, don't say, oh, his future. No, sister. If he behaved, you drop the case, dissolved. If you drop it, the case, I'm talking legally here, before. But don't be afraid of the police job to fix people. I know there are other police, corrupted police, but at least with this case, to how to, by the way, then, wallahi, you protect your son. Your son, if he aggressive, you need somebody more aggressive to stop him, to take listen. And believe me, I thought some people did the same thing. Like a year now, the kids now, without even the kids, they get one after that. See, they come to the masjid without even the parents not even there. The kids have to learn. You not control, you lose the kids and you lose yourself, and that's another problem. But by the way, everything I say reality. I'm involved with this. I'm involved with that. Sir, yes, sister.
Yes, and I have a question here from another woman. She wants to know, how should a Muslim woman handle finding her husband on social media doing illegal sexual actions with women? How should she handle that?
Wallahi, sister, it's very sad. Recently, some people did the same thing here. Not in our city, for different state, they call me regarding this issue. Sister, you have to make sure also, you're not doing the same thing. If it's not, make sure you are in the house, the queen of the house. Husband and wife, by the way, the husband and wife. Our example always Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba radhiyallahu alayhi. Ibn Abbas have one wife, by the way, Ibn Abbas radhiyallahu anhu. Ibn Abbas, when he go to the house, before he go to the house, he wash himself, comb himself, perfume, and he entered the house. He entered the house. But in this case here, the sister here, if you cannot see your husband doing that, be that bride. Show some interested sexual things with your husband. It's halal 100%. Be the queen of the house. By the way, that kind of movies of this, that I don't watch that, but I hear about it a lot. Those people the brothers become addicted to this. They're losing even unable, I know some people, unable to have a sexual relationship with their own spouse. There's another problem. Sister Layla was spoken about with people using their hand and sister using their hands and this and that. That also, brother and sister, you're losing yourself, not you're losing husband and wife. You use it, you lost complete with everything. You have to stop your husband. How to stop your husband? You be the queen of the house. Be a bride, not only bride. Every day be a bride. You know, how you have two dresses in the house, or three dresses. Change yourself every day. Change yourself every day is not a problem. In fact, a lot of sisters are doing that outside, but in the house, supposed to be more beautiful, more attractive to your husband. Yes, sister.
Yes.
The only solution, you yourself, see where is the gap, fix yourself for your husband become more attractive to you. Remember when we got married, how will he love you and love you only together. But I know some people, he become addicted to this, but the sister also watching this stuff. That another problem. Both of us will have to stop completely that. The plus is haram. Allah watching that, brother and sister. Sister Layla.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, we can take questions here from the Zoom room. Anyone here has any questions? Or go ahead and you can take the mic, people in the Zoom. This is all I have from Facebook. Anyone here from Zoom? Questions? Okay, well, since there is no question.
I have a comment, brother.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, what I really wasn't clear. I'm gonna tell you what I heard. That sister's question.
Huh?
And she looked in her husband's phone and seen him doing some horrible stuff with other women. I think that's what I heard. And what I heard you say was that she need to check herself and make sure that she is doing the things that a woman should do to stop this fool from doing what he was doing over there on the phone. I didn't really, to me, I wouldn't, Sheikh Molly, me, if I had a situation like that, I would be done everything that a woman can do. And for you to say that to me, that would make me feel like I ain't nothing, you know? So really, what did you say?
Well, I meant, sister, if you see your husband, for example, and a husband doing this stuff, check yourself actually, why my husband doing that? Because sex, you can be more sexy. Because a beautiful woman, I can be in the house more beautiful. Why? Because you are real. And that Facebook or that social media or YouTube, and they are not real. You are real. You can be the queen of the house. You can do many, many things. You can advise from righteous sister what to do in the house to be beauty, more beauty, to attract and make your husband attractive to you more and more and more, and not even watching these things. You can control your husband, yes, but also step by step. It's not only, especially if you become addicted, because I know some people, you can every day do something new, every day something interesting, every day make him busy in the house, some way, somehow. But at the same time, you be busy with him. Partnership. Is that sister clear?
No, that's no answer to me.
I think
I can't make
what
nobody
he's saying is, this is if a woman that wasn't doing her job. But in a case like what you're saying, if you are a wife that does that and you see your husband has a problem with pornography, then you know what you can do. Divorce. I mean, some men are sick like that. Yeah, but like he's saying, if you find a husband doing it in the beginning and you're like, well, what the heck is this, and you wanted, hey, honey, you can sit down and talk with him, look at this, you outdo that. But if you've done your wifely duties and you are that sensual, sexy woman that you should be anyway, and you see your husband has a problem with the internet and pornography and sex, then you know what you can do. Kick him to the curb. That's always an option if he has, because then he has a mental illness or something, you know.
This is the worst scenario.
Yeah, that's the worst.
The worst scenario. Yeah. And for your sister later, actually also one of the people I know close, but she tried best of the best. They all were telling me, both of them, actually both of them. And it was clear. Said, Brother Ibrahim, I cannot stop. Say, brother, you have problem, psychological problem, some problem in your brain. Go to the doctor. I said, no. I like it, and I'm going to stop. She like it or she not, I don't care. And in this case, there is no other solution. You don't need this man in your own house, because especially if there is kids in the house.
Yeah.
And when you know that, you want to imitate the father. With all my advice. But sister, I don't blame you. Yes, you have to be firm. You have to be firm.
Exactly. Sister Sabrine, go ahead, Sister Sabrine.
One of the things also that I'd like to bring up is the fact that even before COVID, when I was going to the masjid, I would see adults and teenagers where their phones were distracting. Even during Jumu'ah prayer, I see people go up and go out and talk on the phone. It wasn't business or anything. And they just be having a social thing on their phone. And this is during Jumu'ah, when everyone's supposed to be concentrating on the khutbah. Is there something that we can, a solution for this, where Muslim adults are becoming so distracted by social media also?
Yeah, sister is very nice, actually. I see that myself. By the way, I make khutbah Jumu'ah on Friday. I make khutbah Jumu'ah. Please give me attention to that. And if I hear a phone ring, I stop the khutbah. The phone, just continue the khutbah, and just try to embarrass him from everyone. So, brother, answer the phone, and then we'll continue the khutbah to Jumu'ah after that. And everybody look at it. Everybody turn the phone off. Everybody. Why? To embarrass one person, everybody will tell it, listen. Even in the masjid here, in our masjid, we're going to have after Isha or after Maghrib, have a talk. When the phone ring, so brother, phone, answer the phone just to continue. To embarrass the people. Unfortunately, sister, I see this more often, unfortunately. But the key here, the Imam of the masjid, the one in charge of the masjid, is supposed to stop that on the spot. I know once I went to Texas, I was attending khutbah Jummah. MashaAllah, Imam was a great Imam. Before even he made the khutbah, say, brother and sister, if your phone on, turn it off, not mute, off. Otherwise, leave the masjid. If your phone on, he was tough, leave the masjid. I don't want you in the masjid with your phone on. And it was so beautiful. Everybody turned the phone off. But the key, sister, with all my respect, the masjid, the Imam of the masjid is supposed to be Amir. He's the the leader of the masjid, not the board. A lot of people have a board. No. The Imam of the masjid is in charge, supposed to be. And our example, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Umar ibn Khattab, Uthman ibn Affan, he's the leader. He can control everyone supposed to be. But the problem, even Imams now khutbah Jum'ah in cell phone. And that is another disaster. So don't blame the other people. But that's wrong. By the way, you give me attention, brother and sister. Anyone attending khutbah al-Jum'ah and holding the phone like this, and look and leave the phone, salah is not accepted. If you answer, worse. if you look in the phone in Salatul Jum'ah, and what do you have a proof? Yes. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, if the people have a playing with the masjid to be grass, if someone play with the grass or the gravels, rocks, small rocks, salah is not accepted. Say the phone, cell phone, the same thing. Salah is not accepted. Does it clear?
Jazakallah khair.
وإياك sister.
Sister Amina Antar, go ahead.
Yes, what I wanted to add to this is like parents. I'm on the thing. Don't say nothing. Parents are afraid of children with them phones. I have seen children attacking the parents if the parents take it away. It's like they're afraid. Phones, game, or all that stuff they have. And it's like they have no control. Like we had control for our kids. Okay, we did it an hour. Our minds played with their stuff for an hour. That was it. You didn't get the whole day as soon as you get up and you go to sleep with it, or you're not going to bed till 3 or 4 in the morning because of this. And then you see the family sits together. There's no communication because of the phone. Everybody's tapping their phones. And I don't like, I hate phones and stuff that came out because it didn't took from the family life and all that. So yes, I know it's probably nothing we can do, but like I said, some families still could control it if they take it away. But it's like they let that be the life of the children. Like, oh, I don't want them bothering me. So hey, that's what they want to do, they do it. But it takes from everything, they Islam, everything. I'm like, the children, you know, they're not growing up with the deen because all they do is that. You know, I'm not saying that.
You are correct. You are correct. You are right, sister, 100%. Please, whoever listen to the sister here, listen to our live brother, is disaster. Disaster because you are busy sometimes. You cannot. But please, do not say I cannot control it. That is fail statement to say I cannot.
No, I'm not saying I can control it because they come to me. I control it. I'm talking about the parents.
Not you, sister. I mean, I'm talking in general here. No, mashallah, your talk is perfect. I agree 100%. Jazakallah khair, sister. Thank you. You know, I'm doing general. We have to be firm about the phone. Otherwise, you lose everything in the house.
Exactly.
But you know, sister, honestly, mashallah, I wish everybody can listen to what you just said.
Yes, thank you. Shukran.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments from anyone else?
I want to ask you a question.
Yes. Yes.
There is, you know, this Muslim youths and other youth from another religions. They are in North America because the internet is open. You know, it's a click of your finger on the phone, and they are start watching this pornography, and then it become like an addiction. Like, it's like drugs, like how cocaine and cigarettes and marijuana and all that liquor addictions. And then when you get in a marriage relationship, the addiction carry on, you know.
Yes.
So not sure if I don't see any here in the masjid or in the mosque in North America. They are doing any special programs regarding how to like Islamically from Quran, from Sunnah, and from the science, how to address that. And everybody was doing research about it, and they find that there is chemicals in the brain that cause that problem to addiction. Every time he watches something, there's a chemical spread in his brain, like they have a name for it, and it's really very bad things. But inshallah, in the future, we will have some class or subject to train people how to get out of this bad habit, inshallah.
Well, thank you, brother, sister. Brother, Jazakallah khair for this. Actually, unfortunately, after COVID-19, barely to find a masjid, any masjid doing that, barely. And I'm going to Ohio 4th of next month, inshallah. We're going to discuss this in that masjid, inshallah. But brother, sister Layla, what do you think? I have an idea. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, we have me and some other doctors, especially about that. Dr. Muhammad, he's Palestinian, but he born in America.
Yeah.
He's going to speak with Brother, to invite Brother Muhammad. He's specialist. He worked actually in the sheriff office.
Yes, yes.
And I'm going to speak to Brother Muhammad actually it's almost 9 o'clock here. Maybe next week, I will contact Dr. Muhammad, and he's specialist about, he worked actually in the sheriff office.
Okay.
In charge about youth and addiction, and especially youth. And I work actually with him, with me and another 2 imams. We have like a debate, and they help us. And also, I am a masjid here in South Florida. I'm the Amir of the masjid. He is in charge with that. Let me contact him. Let you call him, inshallah, after 9 o'clock, after we finish, for next Wednesday. And,
yes. Perfect.
And this, brother and sister, please, it's very important. If he agree, I will text I will speak to Sister Layla. We need all the parents. They have kids and husband and wife problems about the drugs and internet and this and that. Dr. Muhammad, he's specialist about that. Dr. Muhammad.
This would be this would be perfect for next week.
Yes.
Yes. Great way to end it. Yes, this and yeah, get in touch, and this would be the great way to end it, because he will give solutions and how to deal. Yes, please.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Dr. Muhammad, so I hope he don't answer that. So maybe will join us. Can you go to Facebook, sister?
Yes.
Okay, if he answer, inshallah, because I know it's late now, maybe he's sleeping now.
Please leave your message for.
He's not answering.
Yeah, contact
maybe
yeah, he'll be great for the last, because next week will be the last session of this. That would be great.
Then
great.
I will contact, inshallah. I will text Dr. Muhammad. Just let me not, because I'm muting my phone. No one can speak with me now. Actually, inshallah, subhanAllah. Thank you, brother. You give me a good idea to contact Dr. Muhammad regarding this issue, inshallah. And believe me, brother and sister, that the excellent idea to make. Inshallah, because he works in the sheriff office in the police.
This is
and he's in especially, and actually not all. By the way, Dr. Muhammad, many masajid in the area. He offered himself. By the way, in one session with the one, he texted me. No, in the text me, one session takes $100.
Oh,
but
wow.
for the masajid, free. And believe it or not, even the masajid refuse.
See, this is the problem.
Oh
yes.
My God. I cannot believe. Only astaghfirullah, sorry. Okay, one masjid, he do that. But not only that, church, synagogues.
Oh, yeah. The churches
welcome him. Not only that, we give thousands of dollars for him to go to the synagogue and a church. But the masjid is free.
I mean, they don't.
Thank you, brother. Wallahi, you opened my mind to do something good, inshallah, for our. So, plus, I had some other people to involve with that. I will contact Sister Layla. Sunnahfollowers actually is #1 regarding this, caring about everyone, inshallah. May Allah bless Sister Layla and Sunnahfollowers and hold the followers of Sister Sunnahfollowers, inshallah. Ameen.
Okay, if there's no other questions or comments, then inshallah, then we can close up. And as you guys heard, next week will be our last session of this, but we'll have a special guest speaker who can give us some solutions on how to combat and overcome this addiction that is growing so widespread amongst the Muslims here in the world, not just here, but all over the world, even in the Arabic countries, even in the, the subcontinent, everywhere. And so we will continue this next week. And I want to thank everybody for joining and participating. You know, Dr. Jamali, you can close us out, inshallah.
I'm going to make dua for our kids to be guided, inshallah. And for us, inshallah. And believe me, dua always has a saying in Arabic, forgive me, the English is not going to from my heart. But the Arabic, inshallah, inshallah. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وهدنا أولادنا يا رب العالمين رد أولادنا إلينا ردا جميلا يا رحمن يا رحيم اللهم كن معنا ولا تكن علينا اللهم يا مؤلف القلوب ألف قلوبنا على دينك اللهم يا مؤلف القلوب ألف قلوبنا على دينك اللهم يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوب على طاعتك اللهم يا رب نعوذ بك من السقم ومن الأمراض كلها يا رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك